Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Around the World in 30 Days, and it is a hop that is featuring travel photos, staycation photos, tying into kind of taking you around the world to all of our favorite locations. And I'm taking you back to England today, and I'm using one of my very favorite photos from my whole trip, and it's this one of my dear friend Lisa Sikorski of Sikorski Scraps and Scrap a Sketch and just generally, and Dotty About Flair and the new Dotty About Flair stencil designer. She is just an absolutely amazing human, and she has given birth to one of my favorite little humans, Johnny, who is featured in a few of my pages. And I just absolutely love this photo. You can't find smiles more beautiful than these two, and you won't find hair more beautiful than Lisa's gorgeous red hair. And so I filtered it to kind of soften the colors because I knew I wanted to use it on this gorgeous background. This is, I'm using my Scrap Backwards kit, which consists of leftovers or remains or hoarded pieces from previous Mind the Scrap kits. And this was their cardstock 1 month. And as I said, I've been hoarding it and wanting to use it for a very special page. Well, this is the page. And I know Johnny doesn't favor pink, but there will be a little bit of blue in here. And I'm doing this for his mom anyway. So I'm going to kind of determine the placement of my photo cluster, and we'll see how I build that in a minute. I think I want it here, and I'll have an embellishment cluster there. If I have an embellishment cluster there, I need the other embellishment clusters here and here. So for right now, I'm going to take my stencil and put it right here. And then I'll put the cluster back and we'll see where to do it later. And I will let you in on a little secret. I've started this video already once today, and my stencil had a little bit of ink left over from a previous project, and it transferred onto my page, and it really was not cute. So I will have to use the back of that sheet of paper, but I wanted to use the textured dotty side of this paper for this layout. So, and the color, it is a basil cardstock, and the color is soft shell. Ooh, that came out nice. And I'm going to put this, I want the corner to kind of fall right there, so I want the other corner to be sort of right there. Is that about right? I think so. I can make that work. I want it to be all totally on the page. I'm going to go a little bit off the page for this one down here. And I not only had to wash my stencil before coming back and redoing the page, but I had to wash my brush. Ooh, I got a little on the paper. Well, we can embellish that away. Okay. That looks good. Then I'm going to do one down here, more over to this side. Okay, and I use different levels of pressure on my stencil with my brush because I kind of wanted some variation in the shading. So now let's build the cluster. My idea is that I would, and I've used scraps from various different collections. My idea is that I'd have all these layers behind what is essentially a view into a room where you see Lisa with her arms around Johnny. So I'm going to first mount this. I'm going to go from the top to bottom, which is not usually the way I work on photo clusters, but because there's some rather specific placement of things, I have these on foam so that it'll look like they're open, and I'll have to find some way to make sure that they kind of go down. Well, this needs to be on here because I need to be sure that the shutters are about there. And then everything else oh, I've got the shutters upside down. Well, I can't undo it now because I've stuck it to photo paper. And as you all know, and I'll show you an example in a minute, you cannot stick anything to photo paper and not live to regret it. But I've got my shutter at not the right height. So hopefully that wasn't on there too. It wasn't on photo paper, wasn't much on the photo paper. Okay, so I think I've got them the same height. If I can pull it up that easily, well, this one's not going to pull up that easily. So there's that. Then I want to attach that to this. And it should be the same width and the same for this. I'm going to have to build up some foam there for that to stay level. I cannot say that I measured, but I didn't necessarily think through how all this would. I knew I wanted some separation in the layers because I'm going to kind of emphasize that difference by kind of folding over some pieces like that. And I may. Okay, so now I need some layers of foam here to get this up to the same level. I think that may be enough. So let's try it. And we know it wants to go kind of right there. I want to make sure that is parallel, and then I'll start pressing it down. Okay, and now what I want is for these guys to kind of come down there. So I'm going to put a little glue. And then really press it down. And hope, let me burnish it with the edge of the scissors. I want it to look like it's opening up and there's the whole sunshiny aspect to it. Now, let me see if I can do that again. Okay. I get a little bit worried when I haven't totally planned something out. And for a windowsill-ish look, I thought I would do, this is the, when I tore this floral paper, this is the underside of it, and I love it. I love both sides of that paper. I could probably have used 100 sheets of it and had only 2. So I've treasured all of it. I'm going to put some liquid glue here, and I'm just going to kind of scooch it under there. And I'll burnish it down with that. Okay, now I have some common elements for the clusters. And these florals are part of it. I'm going to do the lower cluster. I'm going to cut this. Actually, I want to cut it on my trimmer so that it's straight and I can put it flush with the bottom of the page. I don't want to lose the sun rays there. Okay, there, and it's kind of curled there. I will put a little glue here to kind of keep it down at the edge there. Okay, and because this is where my title, subtitle kind of thing is going to be, I have this little envelope that I have die cut. I'm going to put this heart. I've got these wooden hearts that are going to be a part of each cluster. And I don't know whether to put it above or below the envelope. And then I have this, I printed this and then die cut it in the shape of this banner. And I was going to do it something like this. Maybe have this kind of be right there. and then have this look like it's kind of coming from the envelope. And I had a small strip of paper, so I used some washi tape to hold the die onto the paper. And this dirty looking stuff there is the sticky part of the washi tape. So I'm gonna put a heart on here. To cover most of it. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And just let it be where it falls. I'm going to put a little tape behind this. Let me get a, see where this is starting. I'm going to pull enough tape for a couple of things. I die cut this with a Rosie Studio die, and I may have a little bouquet of flowers kind of sticking up from it. They're kind of different, a little bit different flowers, but I think they are similar enough. The colors are similar. So I'll do that. And then a little bit of foam underneath this. And I'm going to have this. And I'll take my title is going to come from this set of sticker sheets, which is from Heidi Swapp's Sun Chaser. And the colors are just perfect. All the colors are perfect, but the one particular word that I want to use is especially perfect. It says shine, and it's just a really nice soft combination of yellows and pinks. And I'll have to get that, go back and get that dot. It says shine in the arms of love. And I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember that song from Andy Williams, but it was actually one of my very favorite songs ever in the history of songs. And when I saw that photo, that was the first thing that came to mind. So even before using a song lyrics or a song title was a rule in the Mind the Scrap. I've lost my dot. Where did it go? I should have taken this out. I'm going to use this one from Chill, then, even though it's blue. I'm going to let it be there. Oh, here it is. I found the right color because this blue just doesn't look right. I don't mind, it's a minty kind of color that is in this group of flowers, and actually kind of in in the whole thing, but it doesn't look good with that. So where did this come from? This came from Chill up here, and this is way too much time being taken trying to fix a mistake. There we go. Okay. So now let me get the right one, which is down here on my, okay. There, and I will add some sequins to that later. I'm going to put that away in the place where it belongs, go figure. And then I'm going to build the other two clusters. This cluster can go here, and I'll put it up on some foam. And let it overlap right there. And this one will go up here, and it will overlap like so. And then I've chosen some Flair. I want to kind of add this yellow color down here, so I'm going to sneak it in behind the envelope. I thought about putting it there or there. That was my original plan. But I think I'm gonna do it that way. And before I get too much farther, I want to stamp a couple butterflies. I want one here and one there. One here going this way. And I think I can do that. I'm going to do it with the same Distress Oxide lipstick, or Distress Oxide ink, which is worn lipstick. And I'm a little unsure how it'll stamp on the textured cardstock. Just fine. The answer to that is just fine. And let me go. And I like that that one's lighter. I thought maybe, what have I done? I've gotten some ink down here. This is such gorgeous paper. I hate getting any little smudges. Normally that doesn't bother me, as you well know. There's something here that I wanted to use, and then I was going to put this aside. I might... Well, I'll leave that. Okay, I'm going to have another one of these. I've got 3 different ones of these filigree hearts. So I'll have to see where that fits and which one I want to use. I kind of like this one. This has an Art Nouveau sort of look to it. There were so many examples. I lived in Belgium for a while, in Brussels, and Art Nouveau, there were Art Nouveau windows and doors everywhere, and just really beautiful examples of that period of art. And I'm really attracted to the organic shapes there, and I'm reasonably certain that this gate print on here doesn't necessarily fit with that Art Nouveau bit, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. And I want to put this somewhere where it's, I'm probably going to have to overlap the photo, maybe something like that, where it is, this is a little heart from a set from Bramble Fox that I got at the crop where this photo was taken. And I have the little tiny heart that's inside it, and before I used the little tiny heart, I wanted to use that. And I thought I would put the little tiny heart up here on this flare, where it will contrast a little bit with the orange, and the texture, it just kind of raises the level of the texture. So now I'm going to use this one right here. And I'm going to layer it a little bit differently with the flare being kind of right there. And I'm down to the tiny stuff. I do have this that says feeling all the feels. And it's in kind of a neutral gray. And I thought maybe I'd do that. I want to be sure I get it parallel with the bottom of that photo cluster, and I'm not going to know until I lift it up and look at it. It seems to be okay. All right, now I'm going to do some sequins, and I'm going to use tone on tone. I'll pull the pinks out of here. Pinks and well, it's kind of hard to do, actually. I'm just going to pull what comes out. And I'm trying, what I've done here is I've put the glue dots in a line as if they were one of the rays, and I thought I might do a couple right up here, and hopefully that works. So when I'm doing that, what I have to do is make sure that I'm getting the same size sequins, and that may not be the case. It may absolutely be a little difficult to do. And in this case, I want a different color from the one that's in the middle there. So I'll do that. And then I'm going to put this over here because that's one of the ones I want to use. I'm just going to do two here. One there. And then I'll get this kind of peachy colored one. Oh, that's also a peachy colored one. Okay, that's good there. And then here, I thought I might just follow a line. And just do 5, but that's going to be really hard to get ones of the same size. Okay, that needs to go back where it belongs. Did I tell you that this is the Scrappin' Happy mix? And it's gorgeous, as you can see, and perfect for this layout, the colors in this layout. Here's one that's peachy, but with a little, maybe a little bit more yellow to it. And I'm gonna switch that one to there. And I'll switch this one to here. And I'll try to alternate. Okay, this is another one of those. So it'll go there. So I need a pink one to go in the middle. All right, and then I will do just a 3 down here. I shouldn't have done such fussy detail with the sequins. It's always quicker to just do a spill. Or to mix up sizes and colors, which is what I do most of the time. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did here, where I'll use 3 peach ones, because that's what I seem to bring up every time I go into the page. All right, I have a few things here that are just perfect colors to add in different places. I've got kind of curling that so that it looks like the curl is what you're seeing instead of the leftovers from the I'm just gonna put that there. Just some, and these are some brads from Let's Get Crafty. Okay, I'm done, and I want to thank Lisa for all of her inspiration and for her friendship, and to reach out and tell her how much I appreciate getting to know Johnny, and how much I really love her family, and I love feeling like I'm part of it. And a lot of my attention is given to Johnny, but I love you, Lisa. So I'm not going to waste this. I'm going to put it maybe right there in that area. It's just a bit of color. Okay, I think I've got my 3 clusters. I've got my song title. I've got my mixed media and the sunbursts there. I've got die cuts, my little envelope, and the banner. and I've stamped. I've got my 2 butterflies. So, yay! 5 points for Team 1. Go Team 1. Thank you for watching. Bye.